everybody. Felicitations, everybody. It's Felicia Day, and this is my podcast. Well, I'm not going to record quite yet, but hey, everybody. Welcome. Ooh, I'm having a day. Let me just tell you. It is the 50th episode of this podcast. Wait, I'm going to save it for that. I just want to thank everybody for being here live. I hope that you guys have liked my experiment. Why am I so low? Good. Get up here. Get up here, lady. I need to sit on a pillow or something. I just want to thank everybody for being amazing and being here and supporting whatever this is. I don't know if it's enhanced your experience for doing, watching this. I don't know. But I need to, right. There we go. Add banner. Okay, add banner. There we go. Felicitations. I love watching these. Oh, Becca Rabbit, thank you for saying that. My wife Tara loved the cameo. Did I pronounce her name right? Tara. I always get nervous when some people's names are different. Anyway, I'm really excited to be here, you guys. I miss seeing you on TV. I know, Jay Morrow. I need to work on that. I'm having some moments. I need to sit on my leg or something. I have this new shirt on. I like it live. Oh, good. Fenris, you are. Is that from Fenris from Dragon Age, you guys? So today we're going to be doing a 50th Felicitations. I have to leave a little early because my baby's wigging out. She's wigging out. So it's fine. I just started playing my WoW again. I named my priest Covidex. Oh my God. Oh my God. You just ruined Codex for me forever, Duke. That's incredible. I do need a booster seat, like a little baby. That's what I need. A little baby booster seat. Hey, Test Pilot Pete. Just a few shout outs to you guys. I will be streaming tomorrow at 5 p.m. So tomorrow's a little bit weird because I usually stream at 7, but with the baby, I'm doing this sponsored stream with Free Fire, which is going to be fun. It's going to be an hour, and then I'm going to take a break and then come back at like 8:30 to do a couple hours of streaming tomorrow night. So tomorrow's going to be weird, and I think I'm going to do the experiment. Do you never age? No, I don't actually. I don't. Thank you, Rob. I like you a lot. Thank you for being here. So I think I'm going to start doing streaming in the afternoon on Fridays, doing my personal streams. I know some people, you guys will probably like it because you're already here in the afternoon. Some of the usuals might not be able to make it. So I'm just going to, as an experiment, see that. We're still going to do our Wednesday night streams, and the Guild D&D is over this weekend, but we're still going to try to do like some party games and stuff for a little while. So before we even explore doing some D&D again. So Fridays and Wednesdays and Sundays will always be stream days. And then this will be every other Tuesday. So same thing. It's too complicated. Do you read the guild stories to your daughter? Absolutely not. That is not what I want to show her. Anyway, Covidex is really funny. I wish I had thought of that. Great. You guys. Anyway, all the streams are so entertaining. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to record the podcast, and then I really just want to play Fall Guys, you guys. That's all I want in life is to play Fall Guys. Okay, I need to save it I'm going to save it, and if I end the podcast early and I could do some Q&A with you guys, I would love that. Okay, so I need to start start recording, and then we'll do it. Why am I so beautiful? God, I try not to look at chat, but I really like you guys. I following you on Twitch for a long time. I didn't know you had a podcast. Chrysoar, I do have a podcast. It's Felicitations. You can download it anywhere you get a podcast. And I'm starting to do them live just because now, guys, I need to just record. Okay. Felicitations. It is me, Felicia Day, and this is my podcast. If you are listening to this, this is the big 5-0. 550 episodes full of whatever this is. Random. I think I had 2 guests early on, and then I just dropped that. You guys, I promise next one I'm going to have a guest, and I'm going to try to. So here's the thing. I'm doing these live now. So if you guys are able to catch it on my Twitch stream, that's really fun. It's really fun actually to interact with the camera. Not really different from before, except I do put a little bit more work into the podcast, which is good. But I really feel like it would be nice to have a little bit more input rather than just my voice. So the limiting factor is just figuring out how to get the audio from the guest and me not having the bandwidth to actually edit the audio together. So I'm going to try just doing the podcast live and then stripping the audio and see if that audio quality is okay. If it is, yay, we'll have a guest every week. If not, I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know. I don't know. And you can't make me do anything. Oh, who am I talking to? Mom. So anyway, 50. I cannot believe we've done 50 podcasts, which I don't know how long have I been doing this, you guys? Has it been 2 years, 3 years? So I actually fell off the wagon for a while and then I got back on the wagon. And I think it's always been bi-weekly, except it was weekly for a while. And then I was like, hell no. And anyway, it's been a while, and I just want to thank all of you for coming along this journey for me. I never thought it could be interesting enough to talk 40 minutes in a row. Now it's turning into an hour. I don't know. I'm so lonely. Quarantine, I am inherently an introverted person. When I'm around other people for a prolonged time, it exhausts me and I have to take time to, and I realize that's about having a kid. I actually get exhausted around here, not just because it's just, I'm constantly on around her. And it's the same feeling I get when I do a convention or a speaking engagement or something. I'm giving everything I have, and then I'm just a dry, empty husk of a woman. And someone is reminding me in the chat, which I try not to look at chat, but they are reminding me that the first podcast was May 3rd on 2018. So that's over 2 years of podcasts. So I guess that actually works out because it was every other week. Wow, it's like math works or something. Anywho, I'm just happy to be here and talk to you guys and share my life, which is less eventful now. It's during quarantine. So anyway, I am actually alone. I feel like streaming and podcasting scratches the itch of actual other human contact, but actually I'm not getting it back. So that's probably not healthy, but I stopped doing therapy a couple months ago. So I probably should explore doing that anyway. Okay, before I get into my week, I want to just give a shout out to the Voyage to the Stars comic book just came out. So I'm so thrilled, you guys, because Voyage to the Stars is a really awesome project. It's very funny. If you guys haven't heard it, it's just a really hilarious improvised podcast in space with a bunch of idiots, and I am so happy to be part of it. And the comic book is so funny. It's very profane. It is not for babies. It's got F words and everything in it. So if you guys would like to pick it up, please support your local comic book store. It is available on Amazon and Comixology. That's totally fine if that's the only way you can get it, but local comic stores need your business right now. Like, it's really hard to stay in business as an independent business right now, not getting foot traffic, not having people comfortable going in, and everyone's ordering from home. It's great that we have these conveniences, but at the same time, we don't want little independent businesses to dry up. We don't want to give all of our money to the big conglomerates. And I try my best. I'm not the best non-Amazon orderer, but sometimes you just have to have it tomorrow. And then sometimes you can wait. And I try to order my books and my comics at least locally. So anyway, just a shout out to that comic. I'm really proud of. If you guys, also, we hit 10,000 people on the Discord. If you guys have checked out the Discord, discord.gg/Felicia Day. It's a wonderful community. People talk about all sorts of stuff. We have a COVID channel. So if you want a little depressing shot in the arm and some funny animated GIFs there. I said GIF. I don't know why. I usually say GIF. Whatever. So that's it. And then also just a shout out to my book, FeliciaDayBook.com. If you haven't gotten the book, it is a wonderful time to be doing a creativity book to infuse your life with new ideas or old ideas that you forgot that you were that interesting, and then bring them up into this world. Honestly, if you're feeling low about quarantine, and I'm not just trying to sell my book, just do something creative. You don't have to get my book, but just get a pen and paper out, get your typewriter out. If you probably don't have a typewriter, you don't have a real typewriter. I meant your keyboard. All right, get your own timey typewriter and your Victrola out and start playing some tunes. What was that voice? Okay. So anyway, what has been going on, you guys? 2 weeks. I feel like quarantine, it's either packed, like I'm very busy right now, but I don't know what I'm doing with my time. And I certainly don't know what I'm doing with my life. And that's proving difficult to deal with right now. So I don't know, you guys. I did do a couple of really fun things these last 2 weeks that I'd love to share with you. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I did do a He-Man and Masters of the Universe RPG for fandom. They D&D Beyond, I guess, or not D&D Beyond, but fandom. They have this, they're using the Cortex system now, which is a really interesting role-playing system that's much different from D&D, but actually once you start getting into it, it's actually very streamlined and easy to get into. So they created a book for He-Man and Master of the Universe. It's an official book, and I was able to create a character in that world. Her name was Festina, and she was Fisto's second cousin twice removed, or first cousin twice. Anyway, she was a distant relative of Fisto, if you know anything about He-Man lore, which is a guy with a huge fist. And not only that, is that it's not just a big fist weapon he holds, it's literally he has a huge fist. And don't be gross about it. It's a guy with a big fist, all right? That's all. There's nothing else to read into that. So her name is Festina, and she had huge red hair, and she was very much a renegade, and we did a lot of really fun stuff. She has huge feet too. So she has huge fists and two big feet too. So it was really fun. And a couple of the people, Phil Lamar was there, and he's actually in the new reboot of He-Man and the Masters Universe, which I'm like, hello, agent, why didn't you get me a part on that? So it was really, really fun. And after that, we did some sponsored videos for this game called Free Fire, which is a mobile battle royale game. And I'm actually doing another live stream. I got trained by the pros. So I did this little video where I got trained by two people who actually know how to play the game. And the guild played it all together, and we were really, really bad at it. But the game has so many weird quirks to it that it was actually really fun. But I got trained, and now I have to go up against the pros, which is like, they're going to have to carry me, you guys. Like, I did not, spoiler alert, I did not get a lot of kills in that mobile game. So I'm basically dead weight. But whatever. I had a good time, and it actually took the pressure off in a game like that to be like the best ever. And I was kind of trying to think about this. I was like, well, why don't I play these kind of games as often? And I feel like there's this cliche that those are the games you have to be good at in order to be a quote unquote gamer. And that's sort of like the mainstream bro attitude. So if you're playing Sims or indie games or even like mobile games, you're not a real gamer. And I think that's just crap. And so my resistance to games like that are that having that be defined as gamer to be good at something. And then B, I feel like if you are a woman playing those kind of games, you have to be extra good, or people will say like, they have this attitude like you're reflecting all womanhood because you're crappy at like putting your crosshairs on someone's and getting a headshot, right? That's just me. And I was able to shed that, being like, hey, there are people of all genders who are probably bad at this game, and I'm just going to join that group. So anyway, I had a really good time, and it was really fun, and I got to make a video out of it. So yeah, we uploaded it to the guild channel. And by the way, the guild D&D is continuing. We had a total party wipe, actually, the week that, this is another thing that happened. God, a lot of stuff happened. So we had a total party kill, and then we did this episode where we played like baby D&D, where we literally had to learn how to walk and stuff, which was really fun. And then we're coming up on the wrap up of the 4 art episode. And we have a big special guest on Sunday for the last half of the show, which I'm very excited about. So if you guys want to ever see us live, we're live on Sunday at 7 p.m. And, I don't know how much more D&D we're going to do, but we're certainly going to be doing party games and all that stuff. So if you want to suggest games that we as the guild can play on my channel, let me know. It needs to be like one static video and then 6 pictures around it. So it can't just be us all of in our own world, but we're totally open to your party game suggestions. I'm kind of hoping for like an apples to applers or something. And anyway, so it's all good. Basically I overcame some resistance to playing like not first person shooter, because this is not a first person shooter, but just like shooter game. And I had just such a good time. So that was great. I did a lot of great RPGs this week, the last 2 weeks, and it was great. And then I went on vacation. So I rented a cabin at Big Bear. So if you guys know Los Angeles, the cool thing about Los Angeles is not the smog, not the traffic, none of that. You can get to the beach in 30 minutes. You can get to the mountains in an hour and a half. You can get to the desert in an hour. And you get all these different climates that you can get to, like that. And so I'd never actually, in all the years I've lived in LA, I'd never been to the mountains because I'm not sporty. I don't like roughing it. And I've never pooped in the woods. So those are all things that have never happened to me. I have peed in the woods. And that was traumatizing enough. Certainly I'm not going to do anything more of an obligation than that into the woods. So basically I needed to get the baby out of the house because I have a flea and an ant problem. I'm not kidding you guys. The last 2 weeks I was infested with insects, fruit flies, flies, fleas, ants, silverfish. I was freaking out. I was like, I am not a dirty person. These rooms are not filthy, and maybe it's just because you're living in your house and you're kind of trapped. You're just like every ant represents your failure. But I had thousands of ants coming out just because one tiny piece of bacon was on the floor. And I was running around with a caulk, thing, one of those squeezy things with a caulk. Caulk, that's a hard word to say and not sound dirty. Caulk. I was caulking everything. I was taking the caulk and just sticking it everywhere, just like oozing everywhere. Now it's really getting great. Anyway, I had little cracks in the baseboards and I just had to caulk them up. Caulk? Is it caulk? I don't know. Just caulk it up. Oh God. This is the bane of my existence. Everybody online makes fun of the way I say the words button and ingot. And then now I've got caulk. Is it caulk or caulk? I'm going to caulk something. Anyway, there's just a crap ton of ants in my house. And so I had to leave to get a person to come in and spray. And I had to take the baby. So I took the baby to the mountains. And of course, I get on Airbnb and I'm looking, and I'm sorry. Here's a true story. My grandpa, who passed away, he was a nuclear physicist, but he was a country boy. I mean, he talked like this, and he was like, I love Richard Feynman. Like for real, sounded like a hick, but he was one of the most brilliant people, ever. He has 400 patents or something, probably 40. I don't know, a lot. So he's amazing, but he loved his country. And so he had a trailer on the edge of a pond that he used to own with a bunch of cows that were named after his daughters and granddaughters. Weird. It's like, or you're eating Aunt Karen this weekend. Creepy. So anyway, I remember going to this cabin, and mind you, I was like 5 and 6 years old, and like the inside of the trailer was not nice. There was like brown, creepy paneling everywhere, and I had to sleep on the floor, and like it smelled musty. And so basically, at the age of 5 or 6, I was like looking around this cabin, thinking I'm so much better than this. So basically, I have this fear of cabins, like it's going to smell weird. And like, these are other people's like, couches, and like, what's in this pillow? Should I bring my own blanket or I'm going to get bedbugs? So I basically rented the only cabin in Big Bear that has like white, sleek, modern cabinets and like a bar and like no carpeting and nothing. And it was so nice, you guys. And I shared the place with my friend, and they were like, this is not camping. This is basically a house. And I was like, sure. What is problem with that? That's the way I want to do this. Okay. That's just it. That's what I want to do. Don't yuck my yum. Okay. So that was the way it was glamping, except really it was just like a Malibu house. And I mean, it was like a 2-bedroom. It's not like a huge house. It wasn't a fortune. It was just like, it was the same price as the other houses. It just happened to be completely modern and white on the outside, and it did not fit in with the landscape at all. And I think the people in the neighborhood are probably like, God, we hate that house. So whatever. I'm doing me. I didn't poop in the woods, but I did, I couldn't get good Thai takeout. That's like suffering. So anyway, it was really lovely. And Calliope, let's just say like vacationing with 3.5-year-old is not the best thing ever either, because like I would love, the trails up there are so beautiful. Anyway, everybody should go to Big Bear if they're in the Southern California area. It's really lovely. The lake is gorgeous. Lake Arrowhead near it is even cuter. I'm going to stay up there next time. The trees are beautiful. There's redwoods and rocks everywhere. And I guess everyone goes there when it's skiing. That's really like the popular thing. But hiking, and they have, miles of hiking trails just like up the hill from the house I was at. And then you could walk down to the lake too. And the lake is beautiful. So, I mean, it was just wonderful. But me, I would love to put just a backpack on and hike in the woods, like for hours and hours and hours. I have a 3-year-old. I can't do that. So I took her to some like kid-friendly ones, and she had a ball sticking her feet in the lake. That was like the highlight of the thing. Like she got to go up to the lake and go wading into this cold ass water. And I was like, great, I'll be over here. But I took her to the woods, and this is typical 3.5-year-old, you guys, not rational beings, right? So I start walking through the woods, and it's lovely. There's like, and I point out a flower, and I'm like, oh, look at this beautiful flower. And guys, this is not a rare flower. It's a little red sort of trumpet shaped flower. And I'm like, okay, great. And then she starts to pick it. I'm like, no, baby, we can't pick things in nature. This is not our garden. At our garden, you can pick anything you want. But in other people's gardens, or the garden that we all share together, meaning the national park, we have to leave everything undisturbed for the animals. The hummingbirds need that. The bird, and then it was full on meltdown. But it's so interesting. Mama, let me pick it. And so basically, I'm not kidding, 25 minutes. We argued. She would not go anywhere else. She just stared at the flower. But I need this flower. I'm like, look. And then I went around and I found another flower that had fallen off a flower branch. And I was like, look, here, it's the same flower. It just fell off because it's getting old. You can have this one. No, this one is the interesting one. And she would not, there was no rational. And then, okay, so then I was like, okay, I'm going to take a picture of it so we can remember it. She got violent and she's like, no, I will not let you take a picture of it. And she started pawing at it. And of course, the flowers fell off. And then she was so upset because I had convinced her that the butterflies and the hummingbirds needed this, that she had just basically maybe murdered a bunch of baby hummingbirds. And so anyway, boy, oh boy. Yeah, it was so frustrating, you guys. And like, I'm a very patient person and I understand when they're having a meltdown, the best thing you can do is love them because they're not in their rational minds. Okay. And all of us have gotten there. It's like road rage times 1,000. And they're just really confused and they're trying to navigate the world. And I know people get impatient with kids, but the best thing you can do is just show them that you will love them no matter how crazy ass they're being. So I just gave her a hug and I said, you can keep the flower now, but maybe we should bury it. So we buried it in we put it under a log and I said, well, I hope a hummingbird will find it. And it was fine. So basically we went about 100 feet into the woods and then went home and she watched some octonauts. So that's it. It is hard. So it wasn't a vacation for me. And she loves sleeping in the same bed as me. And it was a king side bed, but which means it's a twin when you have a 3.5-year-old because she's just on you. It's like having a new boyfriend. It's just like, get off me, man. Okay. We don't need to make hay every single second. It's not the same thing. Okay. At all. But I'm just saying, as far as bed space goes, just give me the space. All right. This is a California king. It's really wide. She is so wonderful. And I love her so much. And it is just really hard. Like right now, I barely got to do the podcast recording because she's all about me. And she's like screaming for me, Mama, I need you. And like the more articulate she is, the more she guts me in the heart. Like, Mama, why is work more important than me? And I'm just like, oh boy. It is hard. So anyway, that was that. What else happened this week? The funnest part is that in my construction, you guys, we're gotten to the paint time. We aren't painting quite yet, but the last week I spent picking out paint colors. And I have a designer friend who's a friend of mine, and he's helping me pick out like just elements and stuff because he gets a discount on the furniture. So he's helping me. And of course, the expert, this is a guy this is his job, right? And he suggests a color. Unfortunately, since it's a room that my brother and my dad are going to use a lot, I decided to involve the quorum in deciding the paint color. Oh boy, man. It was a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea. It's like getting notes from 50 people. Yeah. So basically everything I presented to the group was like shot down. My brother hates the color yellow. He hates Tuscan things, which I'm like, I have never been to Tuscany, but everything I've seen of it looks like the dreamiest place I've ever seen in my life. I've been to Florence and it was one of my favorite places on earth. So Ryan, like anything that resembles yellow slightly, and like I wanted an amber color up there, like a warm amber. And he's like, and then my dad, who's very nice as well, he has a more traditional sense of what he likes. So, it's just like, come on, man. So basically I went to the paint store 4 times and got samples for 4 different colors every time. And I eventually was like, okay, let's go more toward like a coral or like a terracotta color. So I got what I thought was a terracotta color. It was Aloha Sunrise. And you guys, have you ever gotten a paint color and then painted it and be like, oh my God, what was I thinking? So this Aloha Sunrise turned from like a warm terracotta to a labia pink. I'm not kidding. It was the color of nipples. And I was like, and I showed it to them and they were like, wow, this is the color of nipples. And like, that's probably the only time I've talked to my brother and dad about nipples. Thank goodness. But it was really bad. So I got rid of that. And then I went, okay, let's go orange. So I got 15 shades of orange and then every single one looked like a creamsicle pop, which is not really a sophisticated like addition that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I ended up with the color that the designer recommended in the beginning. So I wasted probably $45 on samples, hours of my time, and I ended up with the thing that the designer wanted anyway. So I'm going to show this to the live stream, but and you guys are all going to have an opinion about this, and I refuse to even look at chat, okay, while I'm recording this. So this is the color. Now, it looks a little browner. It's like, okay, so the name is, okay, classic stripper name, Tawny Amber. All right, yes, it's a stripper name. If I was going to be a stripper, it'd be a great name. So the color is kind of like an orangey brown pink. Great. I just accidentally saw one comment that said it looked like a chicken breast. Okay, stop it. It's not the color of nipples. This is the color of, it's like a brown, warm, peachy, terracotta-y, ambery, pink. Yeah. You thought it was a bread roll? Okay, I'm not looking anymore. It's the color of butterscotch. That's exactly what it is, except a little more warm. So it's going to look really pretty. And I even picked out like some curtain fabric that's like a warm, like linen. You know, anyway, I like the color. And if it looks like you're inside a womb, it's going to be more restful because we all came from one, right? We did, right? I don't want to exclude anyone, but I think we all came from a womb of some kind. Anyway, color of caramel apples. Yes, thank you so much. Exactly. I'm not looking at chat anymore. Okay, so that was a week and a half. And then, of course, I have to find a trim color that matches. And then I have to find a color for my office, which is going to be a very dark, dark midnight blue, which I'm worried about it being too dark. But I feel like I have so much paint, so many paintings. It's going to be fine. Somebody has reassured me it's going to be fine. All right. So that was my 2 weeks. Vacation, paint, lots of streaming. I finished a writing project, the big one that I've been telling you guys about. I turned that in. So I'll hear back in like a month, maybe, if it's going to proceed. I'm really excited. I have 2 other book proposals I'm working on right now. So I'm actually really happy. I've gotten outreach from a couple people who wanted me to go and do on-set work, like go in and do like a non-scripted show as a guest and I don't feel comfortable going to a set. If you've ever been on a set, guys, there's just dozens of people walking around, breathing on you as an actor. I don't think I could be comfortable. I would have to quarantine if I went to Vancouver for 2 weeks. And not that I've been asked to go to Vancouver, but that would be a hard decision. It would really have to be a really important job. And I just, right now, it just doesn't feel safe. A lot of my actor friends are feeling the same way, you know, but we all have to get back to work, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I think I'm content just doing what I'm doing right now, which might not have any long-term plan to it, but screw it. All right. I do have something exciting to share for this week. I got back into books because a book that I've been waiting for so long came out, the sequel to it. You guys, I don't know if you read Gideon the Ninth by Tasman Muir, but Harrow the Ninth, the sequel came out. And oh, guys, this is what books do that nothing else does. It addicts you, okay? It just is addicting. I could not put this book down. I was sleepless for 3-4 days because I just had to read it. I can't explain what happens with the physicality of some of this. Like the world building in this is so intricate. I have to read it again to figure out exactly what's going on. But at the same time, the characters are so great. It is so fascinating the way I just couldn't even conceive of a book like this. I really couldn't. And that's what's wonderful about this author. It's just like mind blown. The other day, N.K. Jemisin rated me because she actually streams on Twitch. And I was like so fangirling. I got really flushed and I was already like sweating from the video game I was playing, which I'll talk about in a second. But this book, it's just like when you know that you could never make that art, and it's thank God this person shared their art with the world that I could get a glimpse of how they see the world. It's just wonderful. So anyway, that's basically what I got involved in. And then after that, I got a preview copy of a couple of books. And I think I am doing a book tour stop with one of them, but I read Solutions and Other Problems by Ali Brosh. And if you guys have read Hyperbole and a Half, she many years ago did a best-selling, it's like a graphic novel, but not really. It's amazing. And this one is just even better and more personal and funny. And I cried during this book. So, oh my God, Solutions and Other Problems. It's out, I think, next month, in a month or something. And I'm hoping to do just at least help with the book launch because Ali is a wonderful person. if you read this book, you realize she's been through so much, but she's funny and so wonderful with the way she puts pictures and story together is so incredible. So highly recommend picking that book up when it's out. Harrow the Ninth, unbelievable book. I totally love it. If you haven't read Gideon the Ninth, it's basically a space lesbian fantasy novel about vampires, kind of. You guys need it, okay? I'm just telling you. So I'm really into reading. I did start Ovid's Metamorphosis, but I do realize that reading ancient Greek literature isn't the same as reading escapist literature. So I think I'm going to bounce it out. I have 2 books that I have on my shelf to read this week. Little by Edward Carey, which is it's an amazing, it's French Revolution. So that I don't want to say anything else because I've been trying not to spoil myself about it, but my friends have been raving about it. And I'm doing a book stop event in October for V.E. Schwab. If you have not read her stuff, oh my God. And The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is her newest book, and I need to read it to be able to interview her for her book tour. And she wrote the Shades of Magic series and stuff like that, you guys. Unbelievable fantasy. Really, another one who's like, oh my God, I love your writing. So anyway, that one is just really great. I'm going to be reading that and Little and Ovid over the next and over the next couple of weeks. So I did get myself back into books, which is great. And I do feel actually more well-balanced about it because I love video games, but only doing video games makes me feel a little hollow because I'm not like, you're escaping into a world a little bit, but not really, especially if I'm not doing the story-based games that I love so much. They're more mechanical and like the gameplay aspect, which is great. Speaking of games, I've been having a great time in Minecraft with Amy Okuda and my wonderful mods. We have this, I'm clearly not an expert, but we have people in that server who just know what they're doing. And actually, I see the appeal of Minecraft. It's the #1 game in existence. So, and I can't wait to introduce it to Calliope because it really is the building blocks of it and just the way the world works. We've been playing Yoshi Craft World together, and she finally got into it and loves it. And just, it's so delightful playing games with her. And I'm like, am I ruining her? And I'm like, no, we're doing it together. It's mother-daughter time, right? Yeah. But for other games, I've been playing Ooblets again. And then, all right, let's just talk about this, you guys. I played Fall Guys. And of course, I try to resist like the mainstream hot game of the moment because I'm just like, I'm such a hipster. This game is so addictive. Amy and I got so hooked on this game, and Amy's going out of town for 2 weeks and we're not going to stream. And she's like, don't you dare stream without me. And then she tells me she's taking her PS4 down there to be able to practice. I'm like, bitch, you can't have it both ways. You can't come back here doing a 2-week training seminar to be like a Fall Guys expert. Okay. She's actually quite good at it. I will admit that I'm not the best. So, I'm going to get better while she's gone. It is so fun. And if you watch the VOD, I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. Please don't show it to your children because we got so enraged and there's so much profanity. And like, to be honest with you, I am a person who drops a lot of F-bombs and does a lot of profanity, not in front of my child, but too many of my fans wanted to show me to their daughters to inspire them that I started curtailing my language quite a bit. And I think that's totally fine. Like, I'm not getting a ton of sponsorship. It's not like a sponsorship thing. It's really just, I want to be a good mentor and I don't want 12-year-olds dropping F-bombs because Felicia Day did it, Mom. And then that parent is disappointed about showing me as a mentor. So this is the one thing, don't show your kids because Amy and I were saltier than salty. It was like, whew. I've not run a crown. I almost won a crown. Basically the game, it's like a battle royale, but like you're competing against 50 other people and then you go elimination round to left or elimination round and then somebody's crowned the winner, you get a crown. And so I did a perfect 5th round run to get a crown. And then I jumped a little bit too early at the crown and some other douchebag got it. And I can't even tell you the rage because I was so proud of myself. Like being good at a video game is so gratifying. It's like being good at playing an instrument or like running a 4K and being first in a marathon. It's so good. So anyway, I'm going to win at a certain point. Okay. And I want to play 7 hours a day. And this is very few games hook me like that. Stardew Valley did. Ooblets is more like relaxing, but oh boy, Fall Guys. So I recommend you try it out if it's not like the kind of free fire, which is like you're shooting other people. Like basically you're just competing in like a marathon and like pushing a ball around and it's brilliant. in every way, and I cannot stop thinking about it. So that's it. And then as far as TV, you guys, I really did. Okay. After we had our talk last episode, I was like, Felicia, you gotta get on the ball. Now I haven't been working out and I have gained 10 pounds and I'm like, okay, you're not healthy. You don't feel good about yourself. Do something about that. That didn't happen. But I did get books in and I did watch one movie, which was Project Power. It's on Netflix and it was really good. Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are in it, and there's an amazing actress in there who's the lead. And it's just there's an aspect of it. It's really familiar, but at the same time, it has a superhero twist to it that's really good and it's well done. And I really, really loved it. So I would highly recommend it. If it's a kind of popcorn movie, you go out and just be like, hey, let's go and watch this on a Friday night if we had movie theaters anymore. So anyway, it was good. So highly recommended. This next week, I'm 100% watching Lovecraft Country and Warrior Nun. Like those are my assignments for the next 2 weeks. That is 2 hours of TV. Well, it's probably 4 by the time I get there. So I promise to do that. Promise. I'm promising you guys. Stop nagging me. All right, let's do some questions. Opal Job asks, let's see. Opal Job asks, do you have any recommendations for podcasts or audiobooks for kids? Similar to you, I swore I wasn't going to let my son have any TV time until 2 to 3 years old, but my husband, son, and I have been living in my parents' house for the past few months where TV is unavoidable because my parents have it on 24/7. I do my best to keep him away from it, but it's difficult when it's the center of the household. Totally understandable. We'll be moving into our own house soon. I have a feeling it's going to be a difficult transition for him to not have TV on all the time. Luckily, he loves music and plans on trying to supplement with that, but also thought about podcasts, audiobooks for kids. Do you have any recommendations for either of those targeted toward young children? Okay, Opal, you are a good parent. Most parents don't even think about this. So bottom line, your kid is in good hands. Second of all, screen time, if you look up, it's better to have them not watch screens until 3 years old. But it's not going to, the fact that you are an involved parent, you read to him, you play him music. It's just when people use a TV to babysit kids and don't interact with them, that's when screen time is really not giving your kid they're doing a disservice to your kid, as well as increasing their chances for ADHD and concentration issues. So that said, I did my research, and after when she was turned 3, I felt comfortable doing some screen time. I did open it up. So she gets an hour a day, and she also gets a half-hour video game a day. And it's only because we can't go a lot of places that I allow that much screen time. But at the same time, there are a lot of studies that show that Daniel Tiger and Sesame Street are actually good for kids, that kids who watch those shows have a greater empathy level, they have better communication skills, and they're in touch with their feelings more. So I would recommend, if you need to show him TV, have a limited time, make it a treat. I always make her popcorn or whatever. I say you get 2 of these, and then once a week she gets a movie. So on Wednesdays, she gets a movie that she can watch from Disney Plus because we have that subscription. And I also, through Amazon, have PBS Kids. So, and if you don't have those subscription things, PBS, it has a lot of really awesome resources as well for free. But I'm sure you have some kind of streaming for Netflix, Octonauts and Word Party. And oh my God, Puffin Rock is the cutest show I've ever seen. And it's so gentle and so kind. So what I'm saying to you, Opal, is that you're a good parent. You're aware of it. You're with the baby when they're watching TV, and you treat it as a treat and ask, did you see anything? Did you learn something today? We've been watching a lot of Octonauts, which is a group of little cute little animals, and they go under sea and they rescue animals under there. And they always teach them 2 or 3 things about an animal. And so I'm like, what did we learn? And you reinforcing the fact that we're learning from TV is really important. So screen time is an inevitability, right? It's the way you use it to interact with your kid, and you're teaching them that it's a tool versus an escape. And I think that's what the key is. The same thing with the video game. So barring all that, all those games, I have several things that I play for Calliope in the car that I really love. I've made a lot of Spotify music lists and playlists and stuff like that. Also, there's a podcast called The Show About Science, and it's a little kid who I think is 10 years old, and he interviews, they interview scientists, and it's actually really accessible, and Calliope really finds it to be interesting. There's also a couple of story podcasts called Story Nori Stories and Story Podcast, which I found that they're really nice. I try to avoid just telling her traditional fairy tales over and over because, to be honest with you, those are not great for girls to emulate, in my opinion, or guys, or boys. So I try to find the more like offbeat ones. So those are 3 that I play for her. Also, Thomas the Train has a podcast for kids that's about 9 to 10 minutes, and they're wonderful. And Calliope loves those so much. So there are a lot of resources out there. Also, sometimes I'll just play her, I'll find playlists of Halloween songs, or do you want butterfly songs today, or whatever. So I think, you just being invested and aware that screen time that's unsupervised and just used as a tool to distract them, sometimes we need that. But at the same time, it's really important to be aware of what you're showing them and making sure that they're internalizing good things versus there's some weird things that she want to watch. I'm like, absolutely not. Why does Daisy Duck have high heels on? Okay. Why is she useless in this episode? Jesus. Okay. Anyway, I appreciate all of that question. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Cosmic Kids Yoga again. So it's a storytelling. It's on YouTube, or there's an app for it, but she has tons of stories on YouTube where they're like 30 minutes long. You do yoga with them. She tells a story, and it is wonderful. It turns out to be goat yoga because my kid always just jumps on me while I do yoga, but I'm getting a workout. She's learning, and sometimes she'll do it by herself, and I'll see her really trying to get into the shapes, and it's so cute. And there's absolutely no way that somebody could say that this is bad for them, right? So anyway, and also just congratulations for being an awesome mom. Raburi asks, what's the best way for us to watch the Guild in Australia? I've been watching the Guild class play D&D. I just want to go back and watch the Guild, but I couldn't see them on YouTube. And Australia Netflix doesn't have them either. I am so sorry about that. It's really a bummer. There's not a way for me to geo-lock the Guild episodes on YouTube to only show international and not US. So I had to take them down. I had to make them private everywhere. We have an exclusive network contract with Netflix. So streaming-wise, that's the only way you can get them. You can download them on iTunes, I believe, and you could also get the DVDs, which is probably, to be honest with you, probably the best bet. I am really bummed about the fact that it's not more widely available, but YouTube pays literal pennies every month, like $100. It doesn't even pay accounting fees for the company for YouTube revenue, and so Netflix licensing the show, introducing it to new people, is really important for us to support, me and everybody in the cast. So I'm really sorry about that. And it's just independent production is pretty hard. Okay. Veswa asks, how is Sean Sandy Looky Look so good? Well, Sean the Sandy Looky Look is the moderator of this podcast. He is my mod, and he does show notes that are incredible. Please go to felicitations.fandom.com if you ever want to find a book that I mentioned, a recipe that I offhand said something about, a TV show I did. Just see anything I talk about here. He is incredible. He also runs the Vaginal Fantasy podcast still, which is breaks my heart. I don't have the bandwidth to be involved one-on-one. I hope one day to go back to it, but he's incredible. And so I want to give him a shout. And he is really good. Next question. We're only doing a couple more questions. And also that is it. I wanted to show you that question. Nice work, Sean. Rocket Soup said, what does Calliope know about your professions? This is a really good question. It's great she has such an amazing role model for a mom to show her what women can be, but I see it hard to explain your career to a kid. Also, does she know you're famous? Well, I don't know if she knows the concept of fame at all, and I don't want her to at all. And thank goodness, I'm just not as famous as I was once, and that's fine. Like, I realized a lot through a bunch of therapy that a lot of my problems in life and neuroses were because I became known to people without being known as a person. And that was really hard for me to deal with, and wanting to please everybody and not being able to do that was really, really tough for me. So I don't want her to ever think that fame is something to pursue. I would hate for her to do what I do with my life. That's why I'm always giving her science stuff. If she decides to be an actor one day, I would love to support that after she's 18. Every kid actor I know has dealt with so many emotional problems, being a product, being famous in any way, being sort of treated by adults in a way that they just want to get something from you and encouraged to please other people. Thank God Calliope is not that person. She never wants to please anyone. So I'm not afraid of that. She is a natural storyteller and fascinated with science, and I'm just so proud of who she will be. And anything she wants to be is wonderful. I don't know how to explain it to her. I don't know if I want to show her that mama, part of her job is to play video games, because I don't know what kind of future that is for her. I mean, it's bad for my thighs, but I do love video games. So that's why we play together, because I want it to be natural for her that games is a recreation, but not like, I don't know, it could be a career for her. I just explained that mama does acting work, mama does writing work, mama does computer work, and that's what I do. So, and I try not to even talk about acting. I would never show her something I'm in, because I don't want her to think, oh, that's what I want to do. I do tell stories with her constantly. And so I guess my pushing her as a storyteller is the thing. We make up stories together. I make up dreams and she helps me complete them. So that's basically what I know. If she ever says, Mama, I want to be a pro streamer, I'll be like, thanks. I'm really excited for you. I support you. Here's a rig. So I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. And I don't know how to describe any of my career to me. And I know that a lot of people have been inspired to me over the years. And I'm hoping that the inspiration that they take is not that, oh, she makes money and supports herself doing streaming and this. I hope the inspiration is that she's a woman who is not afraid to be herself. She is proudly out of the box and feels just as legitimate, even though she's out of the mainstream of what people call female roles or whatever. She's diverging from the cliche and busting stereotypes left and right. And that's what I would love. That's what I really, really love. And she's weird, because weirdness is always something to be embraced. Whenever Calliope calls me weird, I'm like, thank you. And that's something I try to do. Let's see. Last question, because I do have to wrap it up. Maven asks, first of all, I love your name. I have a hard time finding time to stop and read, from housework to gaming to podcasts and binge watching shows. How does one find balance with so much digital content available to us during the pandemic? Oh, Maven, I hear you. I mean, I just went over me not really reading as much as I would like to, me not watching TV. It is really, really hard. And I think the most important thing to do is to be aware, because we can fall into patterns of just consuming for consuming's sake, watching a TV show all the way through because we feel obligated or our friends are watching it. And I think we have to be in our patterns of behavior, especially in quarantine when that's so repetitive, can fall into patterns of unobservedness in a sense. That's not even a word, but there you go. And so I think just evaluating what you want to accomplish that week, things you're particularly excited about, and even scheduling it. Like sometimes I schedule TV in. I really do. And I will not give a show 1 second longer than I am interested in it. Like Perry Mason, I was obsessed with those books as a kid. I gave it 3 episodes and I'm like, I wish I could have that 3rd hour back, because it just wasn't for me. That's okay. It's beautifully done. The pace of the storytelling was not what I wanted at the time. Maybe I'll go back to it. So I really appreciate you being aware of it. And it's just, you can't consume it all. And you have to know that everything you consume forms you in a little bit. It makes you into who you are. So you have to, it's just like eating. What do you want to come in to feed you? And what will it, that's not like food at all, because basically if you put food in your body, you're pooping. So, and we don't think, what do I want my poop to be? So that's not a good analogy at all. I guess the thing I would say is that you're a creative person. Your point of view is formed by what you consume media-wise, and make sure you're putting in the stuff that is feeding you and building to a place where you're either really super enjoying yourself, or you're kind of focusing on an area that you really, really appreciate being well-versed in. So like for me, I really want to learn about Greek literature. So it's always going to be on my radar that I have something on my Kindle that I read about that. Although I was like, I miss escaping into a book. And so I had to consciously say, pick up a book this week. And I had to consciously say, watch a movie this week. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. And if you look at everybody's top 5 things that they like to consume, that's why we're all different. It's all going to be different, right? And so that's what's wonderful about it. So just be ruthless with your time. You are valuable. Your time is the most valuable thing you have in life. So be ruthless with it. And that's it. Okay. Felicitations, you guys. So thank you for being here for 50 long episodes. I will have a guest next week. I don't know who they would be. It might just be my brother, but I will experiment with the quality of the stream to see if it's if there's a realistic way for me to peel the audio out in a lo-fi way and have a guest here that will make your ears even more satisfied. But until then, I really appreciate you guys. I will be streaming Check my Discord announcements channel for my next streams, and I will see you later. All right. Bye. There you go, you guys. That was it. That was my podcast. Wait a minute. I'm just going to export it. That was really fun, you guys. I feel like I actually did something. Love the topics. Oh, thank you, Medius. Well, basically, you guys need to ask me questions, okay? Because when you guys ask me good questions, I'm able to. Good night, Albert Bolton. Thanks for the stream. I know it was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. My ears were satisfied. Were your face? You need to not read chat when you're not saying you're not reading chat. I know, but I actually wanted to know what you guys thought. So this will be the last thing. Notice me, love. True gent, no. I will not. Before I leave, what did you think of this color? It's really pretty though, right? It's a nice color. It is a caramel apple color, and that's what I'm gonna say. Screw any fall. Oh no, I love fall, guys. Oh, I would love to. You know, maybe we'll play fall. Okay, so tomorrow, you guys, it's gonna be weird. Can we make comments about your paint choice? Yes. Yes, you can, Casual Chris. There are new plans for new co-optitude. No, Ravix, I would love to. My problem is that my brother is very NSFW. And so I would have to have someone go in and bleep them to be able to upload them to my YouTube channel or feel okay. It's very much, I mean, it is kind of a tan person. It looks a little, I don't know. It's pumpkin pie. Okay, good. This is good. It looks like terracotta. Thank you very much, Emily. I'm only looking at the ones that I agree with. It's peachy. The trim is going to be a little off-white. It looks like flesh. Well, some people's flesh, maybe. If I peeled a human, maybe. He's NSFW. I know, Garuda. I have to talk to him about it. He would be happily. I would love to do some co-op with Ryan. It would be very, very fun. He's so funny, but so it'll look good with warm accessories. Oh yeah, I have everything. It's hard to tell about the color. I know, Odyssey Dave. Oh, do you have a sample of a nipple color? Oh, I don't because I got rid of it, but it really is nipply. It was a nipply. So no matter what you name it, it looks great. That's a great color. It looks like the house of the color. I grew up in Arizona. That's great. Roofs in Italy. That's what I was going for. Ryan hates Tuscany. He's always been at SFW. It's true. That's why we had to bleep. We had to bleep it. Is there an automatic mod that I can bleep him? Because if there was like a plugin, that would be incredible. Anyway, Zazu's here. Hi, Zazu. Okay, so you guys, this is what's going to happen tomorrow night. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be doing Free Fire for an hour. Then I have to go and have dinner with my baby. And then I will be back on that night, but it might not be 6:30. It probably be 8:30, or it won't be 7:30. It'll be 8:30 because I can't really stream for 4 hours. My butt really hurts. So I will come back at like after the baby's asleep to do ooblets. So some of you might not be able to stay up that late. I'm really sorry for the disruption in schedule. I think for the next week, I'm going to be streaming from 1 to 4 p.m. or 2 to 5 p.m. on Fridays to see if I can, I just to mix it up a little bit because Calliope loves me to go to bed with her, and 3 nights a week, it seems to be wearing on her, and she's in sort of a delicate situation right now. So I think I'm going to try that out next week. You tell me what it is. Sunday night, I will be doing D&D with the guild, 7 o'clock. And then when I will be doing a solo stream on next Wednesday, because Amy Okuda is out. So I might be playing Fall Guys. I might play with some mods. We might do Minecraft. I might save Minecraft for when Amy gets back because I think Gojira has some weird thing he's planning. So I don't know. Anyway, you guys are awesome. I have to go. And that's it. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.